Okay, welcome to the Physics A-Level induction presentation for Bullerswood School for Girls for potential Year 12 students joining us in September 2020. My name is Dr. Carlisle, physics teacher at Bullerswood School, and I will be talking you through this presentation today. So obviously you've made up your mind that you have some interest in physics, but maybe you're not completely sold on whether or not it's something you would like to pursue at a higher academic level. So I'm just going to talk about some reasons why I personally think studying physics is a really great thing that you can do with your life. Firstly, it is probably one of the best subjects you can take in order to learn critical thinking skills. Now, of course, lots of other subjects do use these skills in them as well. However, I think physics, because it's so based in logic, in mathematics, and in analysis of the nature of reality, that it really is one of the strongest subjects for developing skills like reasoning, problem solving, evaluation, critical thought in general. And these skills are immensely useful in many other subjects, but even more importantly, I think they're immensely useful to life, to our everyday lives. Understanding how to approach problems can benefit you both in and out of the classroom. It will also lead to a very valuable qualification. Of course, you'll get an A-level in whichever subject you choose. However, physics A-levels and physics degrees are prized extremely highly in many careers, for example, in economic avenues such as banks, things like that, in research areas that aren't even necessarily physics, prize physics degree or physics A-level very, very highly, because it is quite a challenging subject. If you can manage to successfully complete this, then employers and other institutions recognize that you've got a really strong achievement here. So, for example, engineers, very, very good career path to go down, absolutely necessary to get a physics degree. Factories that produce many, many different things. This is actually chocolate. So if you're a chocolate aficionado, physics could be a very valuable qualification for you to gain. Of course, if you would like to go into research, things like CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, these amazing experiments at the absolute cutting edge of humanity's understanding of how the universe works, you're going to need to study physics. And yeah, as I mentioned earlier, some of the most highly paid jobs in the world look very favorably upon a physics qualification. So if that's what you're interested in, again, physics is very worthwhile. For me personally, though, the reason I studied physics and the reason a lot of people I know who studied physics do it for the sheer fascination, just the wonder and the sense of awe you get from looking at things on the biggest scales, the stars, the galaxies, the deep universe, all the way down to the absolute smallest things we can understand, the quantum world. They're breathtaking, they're fascinating, they're moving, they're beautiful, they're emotional, and they'll blow your mind, basically. So I think, personally, this is the best reason to study physics. But as you've seen, there are lots of reasons, so hopefully you will consider them. Just as a piece of interest, here's a lovely quote for you. Diamonds big enough to be worn by Hollywood film stars could be raining down on Saturn and Jupiter. And that's not a metaphor. Literally, giant diamonds rain from the sky in Saturn and Jupiter, likely to be about a centimetre in diameter. So, I mean, I think that's incredible. And without physics, we wouldn't know that. So let's talk a little bit more practically about the A-level. What kind of thing do you study in the physics A-level? Well, starting from next year at Bullers, we'll be doing the OCR exam board. And on the OCR exam board, we've got these topics: the development of practical skills. So there's lots and lots and lots of experiments you'll be doing, some really cool ways of getting a bit more active in lessons. We'll be looking at the foundations of physics upon which every understanding of the world is built. We'll be looking at forces and motion. There's a topic on electrons, waves, and photons. There's a topic on the Newtonian world and astrophysics. And then finally, there's a topic on particles and medical physics. So even within the A level, we're looking from the smallest pieces of matter all the way up to the largest observable things. We typically will study the numbers 2, 3, and 4. I know they're not numbered, but these ones in year 12 and these two in year 13, while the development of practical skills is an ongoing thing that you will come back to week after week in relation to these other topics. So why would you want to study physics at Bullerswood? Well, we've got a fantastic team of teachers and technicians who will support you through your studies. At the moment, we've got a great year 12 cohort who are going to go on to the year 13 next year, a wonderful bunch of students, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to share the benefit of their experiences with you, help you out if you need it. We've got some great facilities and equipment to get the hands-on experience of real scientific investigation. We run all of these great practicals in our lessons. And of course, we do have a beautiful site, which will hopefully be reopening at some point in the next year for you to experience. It really is a wonderful place to study. Just as a little point of interest, where some of our past students have gone on to, we've had people going all over the country, Manchester, Durham, London, Cardiff, just to name a few. They've studied a massive range of subjects, ranging from computer science, biomedical science, medicine, maths, marine biology, astrophysics, all sorts of things. So you can see that when you get an A level in physics, it really does help open up the world to you. I should also mention that there is a leap from GCSE to A level. There is a massive difference. In A level, you need to understand the content. You really, really need to get a firm grasp on it. We're not just going through the motions. We're not just learning parrot fashion definitions and a couple of equations. You really do need to get a firm understanding of the things that we're looking at. You need to be able to think for yourself. We don't just learn a list. Like I said, you really need to be able to think outside the box and approach problems in creative ways. And that involves a lot of independent work. It involves a lot of reading around the subject. It involves lots of hard work in general. So whilst I do think it's incredibly worthwhile and massively beneficial, it is not an easy task. So please do bear that in mind. It will be hard work, but ultimately it will be very rewarding work. And organisation, of course, plays a very important part in this. You can't just cram it all in the last couple of weeks. You're going to have to stay on top of things throughout the 2 years. So how should you prepare for this? Well, first of all, I recommend, even though you might not be taking your GCSE exams right now, you should still be revising your GCSE material as if you were taking those exams. On the Bullerswood website, we've also uploaded some pre-course tasks. This includes a lot of different things. It's not boring. There's a lot of really interesting reading. There's some great movies that you could watch. Of course, there are some more academic tasks as well on there for you, such as a bit of writing. They're very, very important. So if you are going to be doing the Physics A level at Bullers, please do complete these tasks. And then also, if you do have a bit of time on your hands over the summer, I've put some optional extra up there just to keep you sharp. In the absence of exams and with a long summer ahead of us, it is important that we do keep our minds active in the same way that we would keep our bodies active. That's all I've got to say, really. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you are now a little bit more convinced that you'd like to study physics. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me, jcarlisle@bwsgirls.org. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about anything that you might be wondering about. So thanks again and have a great summer. See you in September.